Hello and good evening, wherever you are, or good morning. Depends on where in the world you are located. Uh, time zones are changing. This Sunday night, U.S. time zone will be changing 1 hour to the summer hours. So don't miss going to work if you're living in U.S. Okay, Sunday night the clocks will be changing about an hour. Okay, tonight's news is about gold, of course, because as you know, I've been reporting a lot on physical metals and gold, especially. And tonight, what a perfect night than this one, because we are heading towards 2,200 USD an ounce, which was supposed to be expected towards the end of the year, whereas already we are in the beginning days of the March, we are already around 2,200. So where will we go from here now? 2,300, 400, 500, 600? Well, are they possible? Easily possible, because the way I calculated the US dollar, as you know, is lost about 15% of its value in the recent 2, 3 years. So the $2,000 with my famous computer calculated at $2,200 right now times 0.85, that's 15%. I'm reducing the value of the dollar. We are around 1,870 US dollars of a couple of years ago. So there is still about a couple of $100 going up from here easily. So, but the record is currently, I will show you in the attached section. Let me connect to investing page in English. Okay, now you can also observe it's this is the future April price for gold. Okay, it's not spot price, it's April price. It's which has been currently priced, but you can easily see that it increased 1.30% today. Although we feel like these are huge increases in gold, there is only 1.3% increase. Like today in some Turkish stocks, we see 4%, 3%, 5% increases in one day, which is very normal for stock exchange and or shares. But when gold does just a slight move like this, everybody gets into panic mode, especially central banks, okay? Because can you imagine gold going up like another 20% from here? Yes, it's going to be a huge move. So that's why 1.3, 2%, 3% is $28, as you see. I've been a gold buck for around, I'm 68 years old, so I've been a gold buck for around 48 years. Let's say I started in 20s. I made huge money at the time. 1979, 1980, gold made extremely high values, never seen such values afterwards, about 200% increase. That was the oil crisis years. So besides that, the majority, I can say per day, you will never see $100 going up. For example, let's say on Monday it closes like this, it can go to 2,260, 70, but you will not like to see 2,300, okay? But what's the rush? I mean, I hate when gold really goes up quick, because I keep accumulating even at this age, because security you always need. Now the life is so long. Before, people just used to live, a couple of years, like 50, 40. In fact, I read a novel or book about some time ago about famous person in Italy, and he said he finished the school at 10 years old. 13 years old, he finished university. 15 years old, he was professor at the university. And the author had a note saying, people at that age only lived up to 40 years old because of diseases and everything. People just lived very short. So that's why they dressed the kids like lords, with and shoes and hair, so they look, they become adults in an early age, like when they're 10 years old, 12 years old. So it says there is nothing, that you can consider wrong about that, because that was the situation. Life was only 40 years old. So now, a person at the 60 years old, if he expects to go to 90 years old, he has same life amount of a newborn baby in 1700. So now you must plan for the future. That's why you can keep accumulating, because you're just born. You're just born a baby. You're a baby or a baby boomer, either one. But in any case, compared to the old times, you are just very, very young, and you have a life, very long life in front of you. So consider this when you are accumulating, when you are saving money. On the opposite side, if you retired or if you're about to retire without money, now that's a curse. That's not a given, because how are you going to live through this 30 years, with such a small amount of money, getting a small pension, and just, spending days waiting for the lead lighted graveyard, so you can sleep in lights. Well, anyway, dust to dust, so that's the future. But enjoy the game while you are at it, while you are playing it. So let's get back to the gold situation. And I'm not mentioning silver right now, but as you see, there is only $6 left to reach 2,200 in futures. I can go to spot gold as well, and I will just tell you how much spot gold is. For example, I can go to a Turkish website. I'll share it with you, because I know most of my followers are from Turkey. So we can see $2,285 an ounce. So it's $15. I saw this around $8-9 left to 2,200 on the spot price. So this is just $4 or $5 lower right now. We will see. It's still 8:50 p.m. in Turkey. There is ample time, so it may reach. It's just psychological price. I mean, what does it matter, 2,200 or 2,185? But it's a psychological level. In Turkey, you can see the exchange rates are extremely popping. It's 33 TL16 in the market. Although markets are closed, people who were just going there late tonight, they reported to me that it was 33.30 at the stores, being sold for 33.30, and buying is 33 almost. They buy it at 33 and they sell it at 33.30 in the let's say exchange stores, exchange and gold stores. So this gives you an idea of the rates. And coming to the gold itself, is in Turkish, let's say, jewelers or exchange stores, is sold at 2,420 TL per gram, and bought at 2,400 almost. So there is about 20-25 TL difference. Tomorrow is Saturday. The stores are open in Turkey. Jewelers are open. So it's not like US. If you're watching this from US, and if you are not a Turkish person, when we talk jewelers, it's a street full of hundreds of jewelers in every city. So we are not just in the States. It's not the case. I tried to look for, somewhere to buy some gold and silver while I was visiting US. You can only go to like collectioner shops, to find some gold. Or I ordered like from AppMex, from computer channel, but there aren't any places where you can find 24 karat, 22 karat gold in kilograms, let's say multiple pounds, the way you like. I think this is India, China, and Turkey, Indonesia. So, not too much interest in gold. Only 80% of the world will burn the world for gold. Consumers. However, current price increases are not due to consumer demand, because it's getting more and more expensive. On the opposite side, jewelers are not happy. how can they sell to people when they have a wedding, or they in India where they have celebrations and holidays? Now they have to pay 10, 15, 20% more in US dollars to buy the same amount of gold. In fact, as we know, the ETFs, gold ETFs, have been losing gold. So where all this gold is going? Because if somebody is selling, somebody is buying. And we found out that this major, mainly central banks are doing the majority of the buying of the gold currently. And public is just pacing up with them, which are scared of their future, because stock exchanges and everything is very high valued, and there is an expectation imminent fall in stock prices. Just the timing is not known. It's imminent. It's definitely, because never in history anything went up like this. Same will go for gold. Once it reaches the value of 3,000, then it can lose. That's normal. But as I said, so stock exchanges are at the $3,000 value of gold. They are so high. And tonight I heard at one point, NVIDIA, the famous stock, which is among the Magnificent Seven, maybe we can call it Magnificent Five now, because Apple is going down the drain and Tesla is going down the drain. So there's only this new five left. But even the Novo Nordisk, the medicine company which sells weight loss shots, it's passing Tesla. It's already passed Tesla. So it's Magnificent Seven. Among there is a drug company now, which makes you lighter, not heavier. So these changes are coming very fast. So you must adapt that Magnificent Five, Magnificent Four, Magnificent Two. NVIDIA tonight at one point lost 10% of its value in 30 minutes. Okay, it recovered back maybe 2-3%, but that's good enough of scare. For some people collecting the cheap stocks, it may be good. So my advice is never sell all your stocks, neither in Turkish stocks, neither in US stocks, but change their weight in your portfolio. So if you think it's not a very, let's say, secure environment, try to increase the amount of gold. If you're aged like me, you can go up to 60-70% of gold. If you are a young person, you can be okay with 10, 20, 30%, But because you have time, even if stock exchange drops hugely, then you can still wait another 5-10 years. We are a very patient person. I'm not talking about the cryptocurrencies anymore, because there are no indices that I can tell you that, yes, crypto will continue its increasing in the near future, or it's going to drop, because we've seen it both. It went up, very quickly from up to 65,000, and it dropped to 60, from 10,000 US dollars. So now it's back to 67 US dollars after a couple of years. But what guarantees, depending on what, I have no idea, because it's a demand-driven product. You can say all products are demand-driven, but the demand is only coming from people. And recently some banks, but gold, it's different. If nobody buys, central banks are buying. Except I think San Salvador or something like that, Abukule, some guy, president, only he is the one buying Bitcoin. But there are no other nations that have central banks, stocking crypto coins or Bitcoin. So in case of no demand from customers, or very low demand based on, let's say, big recession, money shortage is not the situation as explained. Tonight, as you know, we received the US non-farm payroll information. It's expected to be 198,000 by economists, although last month was 325,000. It came way high, about 200 something, So a lot of people are employed, but nobody believes in the number, because they revised the past month. like they did every other 6 months, down drastically, like 100,000, more than 100,000 down. So what's the use of such a number, if you cannot depend on it? Who knows, next month this number will be revised to 80,000. So there is no dependency. That's why they are not believing that these numbers are correct. And don't believe what the Fed and officials are telling you, because in 2008, as you know, US had the big famous problem in the economy, and 2007 they were saying everything is fine, there is huge demand and the economy is online. In 2008 they said, oh, these numbers were wrong, we were in recession in 2007. Okay, so what will you hear in 2025? Maybe they will say, we were already in recession in 2024. There were wrong numbers. Okay, so listen to what they say, but don't act based on what they say, because as you remember, they said inflation will be only around 2.5%. So it went up to 9%. These are the same people saying this. So that's how much you can rely on them. But when you look at the media and everywhere, they talk like these guys are perfect. They guide the economy perfectly. They are sending you and the economies into soft landing, maybe no landing, because they are all government paid, media. So nobody is reminding them, like me, what happened to the 9.5% in inflation when you were expecting 2%, at most 2.5%. So they just say, oh, forget the past. Let's start our relationship as a new relationship, my darling, So today is also is a celebration of the Women's Day. So I like to celebrate all the female participants, especially on their day, on this occasion. So I wish everyone a lot of money to be made and a lot of fun. So let's enjoy this going up. I hate actually going up, because I prefer where I buy things cheaper, I love to buy gold at 200, 1,800, 700. Now those days are long gone, but I cannot change it. So what I cannot change, I'll just keep enjoying until it goes up. But if it ever comes down, like 2,050, 80, I think that's the new baseline now, around 250, 2050, 2080. Even if it goes there or below, I'm backing up gold. I'll keep buying, okay? Because I know of one thing, not the price of gold. I know all these people are printing money like hell, and that's why even when they increase the interest rates to 5.5% in the US and in Turkey to 45%, what's happening? Why did they increase the rates? To slow down the economy. Did the economy slow down at all? No. People are buying like crazy. The January expenses on the credit cards in the US is twice as much as they expected. They were expecting $9.5 billion US dollars expenditures by a consumer credit. Now the consumer credits went up to $19 billion. So people are spending like there is no future. Some celestial bodies about to hit the earth. So why did you increase the interest rates? It's not helping anyone. It just stops some. It didn't even do that. Stop home selling because of mortgages. It didn't help there at all. Consumers are spending. Stock exchanges are exploding with the profit. Gold is going up. So maybe 5% wasn't enough. Maybe you should think about 10. Good, increase it to 10. So there are few banks left which are about to collapse with the increasing interest rates. So then you can collapse them as well. Okay, that's right. Something useful for one person is the opposite for the others. And banks hate increasing interest costs because they have bonds of the government which are giving very low interest rate. That's why they are going bankrupt. The new ones are 5.5%. They have 2%, 3% government bonds. So can you imagine Fed increasing the interest rates further where they should be to 7%, 8%? Then there will be a collapse. You're going to say, well, it's no longer 6, 7%, it's 3, 4%. Well, you like stories before you go to sleep, huh? It is. Just check the shadow inflation calculations. Double, multiply it by 2. Whatever you hear from officials, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, multiply it by 2 in any country, okay? Because that's the way to get people money and pay the government's big debt by creating inflation, never telling that you are the reason for creating the inflation, just accusing the egg producers, food sellers, market chains. They are doing all these increases. They are doing the skimflation, and they are reducing the size of the products. Shrinkflation, there's a potato bag this big, has 50 grams of potato in it. Before it used to have 100, but you think you are buying the 100, but it's only the package. So that's called shrinkflation. It's shrinking. Product inside shrinking. Skimflation is the quality of product is going away. Instead of potato, you are probably eating maybe sugar beets. Okay. So the product quality is also going down. So this is actually good for the governments who are going to be elected, because it shows like the inflation is not as bad as it looks, because the packages are big, so the products are inside. Okay, they are not potatoes anymore, but my good friend President Biden is saying they must not do shrinkflation. That's good for you. You shouldn't complain, man. You just went to the hospital. How was Walter? Walter Reed, was he fine? Your friend? Okay. He thinks he was alive. Okay. See you later. And he lived during the North and South War. Anyway, I hope you enjoy all this video and tonight. And let's see where it goes from here. If not tonight, what's wrong with Monday and Tuesday? We just rest 2 days, on the weekend, planning for the future. Then we'll see you again in about a week. I make my English videos like weekly, so I guess that's good enough for economic, let's say, financial word usage improvement. See you again. Bye bye.